So you can see him looking at the thing that's over there, somewhere near the round pen. He's always afraid of the same place. So I can expect that's going to happen when he gets to about here. His ears are going to prick right there. His head's going to go up a little bit. And there he's going to just try and avoid that area there. So right there, so he falls in right there because he's trying to avoid that area between E and S, really. Okay, so he's going to fall in here. So you just drop his shoulder. So I'm going to bend him to the outside a little bit. I'm going to ask him to trot. I'll ask him to trot just to raise his emotional level a little bit. That's much better. I'm going to bend him to the outside a bit. He's still falling in. Just around there after E. So let's watch him here. Right here he falls in. So I need to just bend him to the outside. I'm going to turn him to the outside. There we go. Keep him trotting. Good boy. Right there, so his head go up. He bursts the bubble. Now he's rushing. I want more relaxation. So I'm going to increase his emotional level a little bit. Steady, steady, stay. So you see he gets past the scary thing and then he rushes. So what we need to do is right here, I'm going to ask him to walk and turn him to the outside towards the scary thing, and then ask him to trot again. I don't want to punish him for getting scared. I just want to try and get him to think about something else. So if I can think about him slowing down instead of speeding up, and walk, walk, walk. Good boy, well done, good boy. And trot. There he's falling in. I'm going to turn him to the outside. That has two advantages. It gets him to move his shoulder, pick up his shoulder and move it to the outside. And it also turns him towards what he thinks he's scared of, right there. So you can see when he raises his head that the muscles under his neck change shape. So he goes from here relaxed to right there, that muscle under his neck is bulging. And he stiffens up as he raises his head and he's no longer relaxed. So we want him in the engagement zone, but relaxed. So right here, we've got a problem with this quarter of the circle. So I'm going to turn him right where he gets scared there, give him something else to think about, rather than just letting him continue with that pattern, because he's just going to learn that pattern. I'm going to turn him, he slows down as well, so that's good. Because he wanted to speed up. I'll turn him. I'm not worrying too much about his head going up in the turn. First, I just want him to follow his feet. You can see, you know, it's 30 degrees here already. He's not hot. I'm not trying to exhaust him into submission. I'm just trying to engage his brain a bit. I'm just trying to get him to think more in the bubble than outside the bubble. I'm just trying to get his focus. Hey, boy. Good boy. Look at you doing it. Good boy. Good boy. Look at you. Good boy. Well done. Well done. What a good horse. And that was the best circle he's done so far. I prefer that to, oops, not now, but that was a better frame. Can you see the way he gets a bit stiff? Whereas right here, his straight lash is still quite open and he's quite relaxed. When we get to about here, he sort of stiffens up. He would really like to go up the other end of the arena. Again, I'm going to turn him towards the scary thing. You'll find your horse is either better on the right or the left. This horse is much better on the right on the long reins and the left under saddle, and that's not unusual for them to differ in that. He spends more time in the circle here. He spends almost half of it stiff and sort of bracing, using the muscles under his neck. If you just look at his shape, it's not, you know, it doesn't look too bad. It's in front of the vertical, and his, you know, his head's reasonably low. But if you look at actually the muscles he's using now, it is the underside of his neck. He's not using his top line muscles. Sorry, I just fell over. Yep, there we go. Good boy, that's better. By bending him to the inside there, I can just help him relax. You know, the hardest thing to do is to have him going straight with no bend in his neck at all. I don't want him to move his head outside the point of his shoulders, but I do want him to be a little bit bent to the inside of the circle, just because that means that I'm not giving him the opportunity to brace against me and pull on both the reins, which he can do quite easily if I've got pressure on both reins and if I've got his neck straight. So just by offsetting his head slightly, it means that I'm only really working his head and his neck, and I'm not giving him the opportunity to brace against me with his whole skeletal system. See how much better this side is than the other side. We still see him slightly in and out of the bubble, but it's nothing like as bad as the other side. Not that the other side's terrible, it's just that it could be better. I've brought him down to, you know, what he considers the scary end of the arena, because I want this to be perfect on the lines before I ride it in this area. I know he's going to be better at the other end of the arena, so at the moment when I'm riding in that end of the arena because I know he's all right there. But here, you know, you can see if I can't get the horse to relax on the lines, I'm not going to be able to get it to relax under saddle. It's going to be harder for me under saddle than it is on the lines. And it's just a risk, isn't it? Why take the risk? Why not do the work on the ground here? Good boy, that was better. Good, and trot. Good boy. Cue him until he trots. You can see here, you know, I can even really loosen the rein. He's in self-carriage, that's really good. Loving this side, Jazzy. He still falls out through that shoulder and tries to head towards A. I'll show you where. Right here, he wants to go straight. I want him to turn right. There we go, good boy. But he's much better going past that scary spot. You can see it with his left eye, which he's more comfortable doing. Good boy. So here I'm going to turn him towards the scary spot again. And cluck at him until he trots. Good boy. Yep. He really gets mostly sort of stiffened in the neck there after the scary thing. So right here he's aware of it. Now it's behind him. And that's what he doesn't like. So right here his ears are pricked, he's looking at it. Now it's behind him. Slightly better there, slightly better. If I can get a little bit more bend, that might help me here. I'm going to bend him a lot, make the circle smaller. That's it, good boy, here we go. Now release it when he does soften and relax. Okay, keep asking here. Right. Good boy, look at you, good boy. Much better. Good boy. There we go. So we've made the circle much smaller, but it's having the desired effect, and it enables me, if he's a bit closer to me, just to bend him a little bit more to the inside and keep him a bit more in the bubble. So as your bubble gets bigger and as the horse gets further away, it does become more difficult. So if you're having trouble, your horse is a bit afraid of something and is finding it difficult to relax, then make your circle smaller. It's not as if he's power trotting around, he's quite relaxed, he's really jogging around. And so, you know, I'm not going to hurt his joints or anything by doing a few repetitions at a smaller circle, yeah? So I wouldn't fuss too much about that. What you don't want to do is do too much, you know, you don't want to keep going on and round and round and round. The idea is to make every repetition to every circle better than the last. That's all. You know, you don't want him ever sort of going around pointlessly without you looking at him, correcting him if necessary. You want every repetition, every circle, every time he goes round to be better than the last time he did it. And I say, you know, the circle is the repetition because you can see he behaves differently in each part of the circle. Now we're up here at A, and I think he's going to be a bit more comfortable up here. And this could be interesting because he might be more comfortable on one side than the other. So this was his good side, down the other end of the arena. Chop. Good boy. Good boy, look at you, good boy. Now you've seen this whole session, so whatever time we're on to now, that's as long as we've been doing this. And he is sweaty now, it really is quite hot, so am I, and I've just been standing here watching him go around me. But I really want to emphasize that this is not an exercise to exhaust your horse. It's not a get the buck out of him exercise. It's a engage the brain exercise and see whether or not you've got the training there to warrant getting on him. If you can't keep him in the bubble for a few repetitions, then you don't have the training to get on him. It's really important because it's really not going to get any better on board. He's still rushing. Watch this here as we come up to the gate. He's better here. So we come up to the gate right here and he rushes right there. He overdid it that time. He did a little bit more, but he's still finding this bit scary, and it's when the scary thing is behind him. So what he's trying to do is run away from the scary thing when it's behind him. So I can turn him towards it again, let him walk, and that should be quite a good sort of thought for him, because it means, oh, I turn towards it and I walk towards it. Maybe it's not as scary as I thought it is. But you know, you have to remember this horse is coming in to work from time off. And when horses have time off, and he's had quite a lot of time off, they're just horses, aren't they? So if there's anything scary in the paddock, he can just spin and run. And so he's been practicing doing that for months. And it's not surprising that he's finding it hard to get into the bubble and to focus on me and just relax and not worry about his surroundings, because his surroundings have been all that's important for the last sort of 6 months or 12 months, actually, if I'm honest. And so, you know, let's give him that benefit, and we're not building the muscles so much as we're building his mental capacity to focus on us. Steady, right there again. You sort of just drop his inside shoulder a bit and speed up. Good boy, look at you, you're a good fella. Oh, good, that was lovely. Oh. Did a really good one there. He barely went faster and he barely lifted his head or tensed those muscles under his neck. So that was a really great place to stop him. If you have that opportunity, take it. But I discourage you from working harder or longer to find that opportunity.